Hello, well in this video I'm going to show you the Tysew post bed sewing machine and all the sorts of things you can do with it. Lovely bit of machinery. We'll dive into the detail. And just to be transparent, this video has been sponsored by Tysew sewing machines. Now I already own a couple of Tysew machines that I bought with my own hard-earned cash. I've got my cylinder arm machine here, which is featured in quite a few videos already on making bags, and behind me my trusty skiving machine, and I'm very pleased with both of them. I'll pop a link to Tysew down below in the description and also in the video here as well. I'll bring you in close in a minute. I just want to give you a distant shot of the machine first of all. So that is the post. So the actual needle is up here and the drive mechanism etc. is all just here. And the great thing about a post bed machine is that it lets you get into like three-dimensional shapes. So it's really useful for things like the bases of bags and also for shoemaking as well, the uppers of shoes, because you can get your needle all the way around where you wouldn't normally be able to get it with a flatbed or a cylinder arm machine. So it's very versatile from that point of view. This one is a single needle. They also do a twin needle version as well. It's got a digital servo motor, which is down here, and that's great because I'll show you, you really can take the speed right down. So here's a closer view of the actual post part of the machine, the needle and the drive wheels. I'm going to zoom in right onto these drive wheels because there's something rather unique about them. So what you've got here for the top feed is you've got this wheel. It actually has cogs on the back of it, so it's a driven drive wheel on the top. So it's going to transit your lever through very smoothly. On the bottom here, it's got a knee lift, so I can just do this with my knee, raise this wheel. Instead of your usual feed dog down here, it's got another roller wheel which turns as you sew. So again, it's pulling the material through your sewing area. So you've got this top wheel, you've got this bottom wheel, and they both work together like a pair of rollers and basically suck your leather through. And that gives you a very positive motion. In addition to that, you have also got the needle, which is a needle feed. So the needle is sort of coming forward, stabbing, and then pulling backwards along with the drive wheels to get you a very smooth transit of your leather. So I've just got a thin bit of upholstery leather here, so off we go. And there you can see it takes it through very positively and gives you nice even stitches. Now, one of the things that I think sewing machine sellers often go on about is the speed of the machine, which I appreciate. If you're doing fabric type work, you want a very fast flow through. If you're doing lower volume leather working, then the chances are actually you're not so fussed about top speed. It's more about low speed, your bottom speed, and how good is that. And that's certainly the thing I always look for, is how slowly can I run a machine. So just to give you an idea, that's on about 200 RPM. So it's quite nice. It's not too rushed or hurried or anything. Got this nice knee lift. And you can in fact control it quite a lot more. It takes a little bit of practice, but you can go like that, needle down, and you can then, with another little push, go needle up. And you really can take it, if you need to, sort of stitch by stitch, like that. It is pretty controllable and very responsive. Now obviously you can, on the motor unit, put a digital servo, you can put a needle positioning device so that you always end up needle down or needle up. But I am quite impressed by this. Down, up. You see what I mean? It really got quite nice control there, taking it quite slowly, which I must say I was pleasantly surprised to find. You get this nice stitch. So yeah, all in all, very controllable, which I am quite impressed about. Obviously, with the post design, it's quite nice because it's flat on here, so you've got enough like control to actually keep things where you want them, but you've got the beauty, obviously, of just being raised up on the post. And if you're, say, doing the base of a bag or something rather complicated like that, or the seams on a shoe upper, then it really is ideal. The machine is made, I think its max sewing sort of capacity in a leather is something like 6mm. It's not particularly designed for doing, you know, it's not in the harness category. It's not a heavy duty machine. Like all machines, it's been optimized for particular kinds of thicknesses, and it is geared for things like making handbags, doing shoe uppers and that sort of thing. So I mean, I could, just as an example here, I've got a bit of leather, I'm just folding in half. I'm going to fold it in half again, so that's beginning to make it a bit more heavy duty. And you can see there it's going through it very happily, absolutely no problem at all. So if you're wanting to, you know, make bags, handbags, shoes, you're going to certainly do well with something like this. There we are, and it's this lovely transit mechanism the whole time, which is really good. And you're getting a very nice stitch. It can do a nice range of stitch lengths. In fact, it can go from 1.3mm right up to 7mm, and to adjust the stitch length you press on a button here and then you turn the main wheel and it sort of engages. There we are. And then you can say, if you want to make it a bigger stitch, you can raise this up. So like that, so with a 7 showing there, you've got a 7mm stitch. You can obviously take it down and get the stitch right down to like 2mm, or as I say, even right down to 1.3, which is great because if you're trying to go around a curve, if you have smaller stitches, it's easier to get around a curve. Things don't race away with you in quite the same way. I've been surprised at how good this machine is at not marking leather. So with a lot of feed mechanisms, I mean, for example, if you're using a patcher sewing machine, you do get all these like tooth marks along your leather surface, but I really have been impressed with this one. You can set it so you don't get leather marking at all. I mean, when you think about it, the leather is being just poured through the rollers, so, and the needles, you know, forcing it through. But that's really nice. If you're doing something like wallets, you're not going to end up with lots of like sprocket teeth marks or anything. You can adjust the pressure on this wheel, so how firmly it's pushing down on your project. So there's a little adjusting screw on top of the machine. So this is the little screw on top of the machine, and if you turn it anti-clockwise, you take the pressure off the foot, off the roller wheel foot. If you turn it clockwise, you increase the pressure on the roller foot, and it's quite easy to set that, so you get a lovely smooth transit. Now this machine does represent fantastic value for money, as does a cylinder arm and skiving machine. They are all clone machines, they're not manufacturer originals. My Juki flatbed machine is a manufacturer original, made by Juki in Japan. So when I came to buy my cylinder arm machine, I was thinking, well, should I get another like a Juki or something? And I went along to Tysew to look at their machines, and I actually also tried out an Adler they had there, which is a very nice solid German machine. But actually I was so impressed with the general quality of the cylinder arm machine, the Tysew cylinder arm machine. I asked quite a lot of questions, I tried the different machines, and I went for it. And I have to say, I have absolutely no regrets whatsoever. holds its stitches beautifully, it handles extremely well. When it came to buying a skiving machine, again, I thought, what do I go for? Something like a Fortuna or something else? And I went for the clone, again from Tysew, and again it holds all its settings. It's been really good, so I have absolutely no regrets whatsoever. So when it came for the post bed, I was going to be buying the Tysew one, and that's when I said, you want to do a sponsorship arrangement, so we came to an agreement on that. The point I'm trying to make here really is that I think they represent fantastic value for money, and they keep going. Bang for buck, reliability, I have found them to be extremely good. I hope that gives you an idea of what the post bed does. It's lovely if you've got sort of curving sewing to do and awkward shapes. It's a machine for the job. Like all industrial machines, they tend to be best at doing a few jobs really well, and then other things, you know, they can do but not as well. So that's why I have a range of flatbed, cylinder arm and the post bed, but you can pretty well tackle any sewing operation with those machines. So I hope that helps, and if you've got any questions, please ask them, you know, down below. If you are looking for a machine, I would certainly have a chat with Tysew. I'll put the link down below, and you know, really have a look at their website. They've got a very good website as well, and give them a phone call and have a chat. Very helpful people, and they'll give you advice. They'll try and give you, you know, choices to what is perhaps best for sewing applications you've got, and they've got huge experience in the sewing world. They really know what they're talking about. Very genuine, nice people there. So there you have it. I hope you found it useful seeing the post machine and getting an idea of what it does. And I'll see you in the next video. I'd like to say thank you very much to Tysew for sponsoring this one. And I say please do look at their website. They sell accessories as well as machines. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye then.